Hey, good morning, team. EURUSD has started to retrace in towards the downside, which is giving us a potential long opportunity. We're now waiting for liquidity to get grabbed here on the 4-hour time frame to then look for a potential 1-hour change in structure to then take longs. Looking at the daily time frame, liquidity is still open here on the daily. Now, the daily impulse that we've had in towards the downside takes place from the overall high towards the overall low. So within that overall bearish impulse, we're then looking to identify our liquidity. Now, our liquidity is positioned above pullbacks, for example, here or here. Before a next major downside move can take place, in my opinion, we need to take out daily liquidity, or at least that is what will give us the highest opportunity or highest potential opportunity to take a short. Looking at the 4-hour time frame for now, we remain bullish with the overall upward momentum still in control. If I look at the 4-hour time frame, previously we swept a liquidity low with this low here to our left. Now again, we have internal liquidity. We're now waiting for that internal liquidity to get taken to then look for the long position. The long position could come if the 1-hour time frame shifts market structure in towards the highs, creates the area of demand with liquidity to then look for the long position. So that's the overall long that I'm waiting for here on EURUSD. Until then, there's still some potential for a little bit of further downside towards the overall EQ/ascending lows. Going into the dollar index has retraced back up after swiping the daily low that we were waiting for in these market outlooks. Now, the daily time frame here for the dollar remains bullish, right? From the overall low towards the overall high. Inside of that bullish impulse, we have 2 points of liquidity. We have liquidity point number 1 and we have liquidity point number 2. Liquidity point number 1 has now been taken. And in order to confirm that it wants to head up higher, you now need to wait for the market structure shift. Once that market structure shift takes place, then we could look for long. Until then, downside is still in control and we could still easily head down a little bit lower. Going to the pound against the dollar, we can expect some further upside because GU has as well made a nice sizable retracement back down towards 1-hour liquidity, which is this low over here. This low over here took out these ascending lows, so we don't necessarily need to retrace that deep. This is swing low, this is swing high. This here is your impulse in towards the highs. Then this here is your overall premium versus discount. We can see we've retraced into EQ, we've taken out liquidity, and now we're waiting for a V-shape reversal to then look for a potential long position. Going to Aussie dollar next, we can see that Aussie dollar has retraced just a little bit. Again, for AUD/USD long to take place, what would need to happen is that we would need to take out this low over here. So if we monitor this chart here, it's pretty simple what we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for the liquidity low to be taken right over here on the dotted line, and then bullish confirmation to then look for the longs. NZD/USD is also similar to AU. We are looking for longs still, but it's a little bit ugly. We need to see a V-shape reversal and then some structure be created to look for longs. If you look at the daily, though, daily is still bearish. This is one of the lower probability longs. We have initial sellers in here. They had stops above the highs. Those have been swept. If we break the low here, then I'll be happy to look for a short once we retrace slightly. So that's a position that I'm keeping an eye on. Other than that, we have obviously dollar Swiss, dollar Yen, dollar CAD. So dollar Swiss refuses to head down lower just because the Swiss franc is so weak. Looking at those Swiss pairs, again, you can see yesterday, strong retracement down, but already heading up higher again. What I'm looking for from dollar Swiss is not really a short. I'm just looking for more longs, but I don't really have a long setup, if that makes sense, just because of the fact that this is just a range and they're all just crappy lows. So I would want to see V-shape reversal like that. But is it going to happen? Unlikely, maybe. So for now, I'll just stay away from USD Swiss until we see something a little bit better. USD JPY, by the way, again, heading up higher. What I'm looking for this today is for it to continue its overall up move. The yen remains just really weak, guys. So we can look for those yen shorts. Just keep in mind that an intervention can take place at any point in time. So if you are looking for longs on UJ, then ideally just trade a liquidity low, boom, take a long, and then just use, for example, let's say this liquidity low, use a smaller stop loss because you don't really want to be swinging UJ at all. If you look at the 15-minute time frame, you should be focusing on Asian session breakout setups. So for example, here, what you can see is that we've got a breakout of the overall Asian range. This is, for example, a setup this morning that you could have taken, something like this. So you have the Asian range, wait for the breakout, take the long, as simple as that. So yeah, UJ still expecting upside, and then USD CAD has taken out daily liquidity. From here, I would be waiting for some redevelopment because CAD is just super strong here in towards the downside against the dollar. This mainly also has to do with oil that has been a little bit on the rise. So that's why USD CAD is a little bit of a lower probability one. There's also not really structure for a reversal, like something like this. Then to look for a long, no, it's just boom, straight way down, you know. Then last of all, we of course have gold. So gold in itself is not really something I'm trading at the moment. I was focused on the long side, or I'm still pretty much focused on the long side, but we're not really getting any good setups here just yet. So ideally, we'll be waiting for this low here to get taken before any real longs will play out. So in the meantime, I'm looking at some short-term downside here for gold. Maybe if it takes out this high, we could look at it some downside, but just expecting some downside. And then this morning, we took a German 40 short position on the Prop for Match TV stream. Make sure to join these streams there every single morning during the London session from 8 a.m. Central Eastern Time until 10 a.m. Central Eastern Time. It just came out. We took a nice, beautiful short here on London Open. So yeah, good overall vibes, good overall momentum, and see you guys again tomorrow.